Hey, what's up? I'm Kristof from Budapest, Hungary, and today I'm going to teach you how to do my song. Keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Let's go. So, this is my preset for Keep Doing It. In the input effects section, I'm going to use input effects A and B, and then the track effects, I'm going to use A, B, C, like all of them. Let's go through the setup real quick. First of all faders up except track 3, because this is going to be the first drop, and I'm going to record it and keep it muted so I don't reveal it too early. The input effects A is going to be a lo-fi with bit depth of 15, sample rate 1 to 11, and balance 80 to 20. So it's barely on my voice. Input effects B is going to be a ring modulator with a frequency of 96, balance of 90 to 10. So again, it's just, adding a touch. And I don't use the input effects C. On track effects, I'm gonna have the beat repeat with a type of repeat forward and length of 1/4 note first, but I'm gonna move it all around. And we're gonna have a roll over here with the settings of time 278 milliseconds. This is gonna be important because we're gonna use certain notes and we want the roll effect to sound in a certain pitch. And the mode is in 1/16. The feedback is 67 and the level is 50. And we're gonna have a filter here, just a regular low pass filter with a eighth quarter note, dotted. So eighth, how to say it in English? Like quarter note, eighth dotted quarter note, whatever, this one. And the depth of 100, the resonance is gonna be pretty high, 67, and the cutoff is 1, but I think it should be 0. Yeah. Or if you wanna play with it, you can pull it up to like 20 or something, but I'm gonna keep it here. All right, I'm gonna use lots and lots of patches from my GT1000, and I'm gonna give you a quick explanation for the main bass sound. The main bass sound is based off of the idea of using a panning delay in a pretty quick time. So now it's going to be 24 milliseconds with a feedback of 60 or 70 and the effect level all the way in. So this is what we get here. And the idea is that I'm trying to imitate house plucks. In order to do that, I'm going to need the trigger sound from my mouth, which is already plucky and bassy. For the first drop, it's going to be the dry kick. And for the second drop, it's going to be the sucker punch. If I add the effects, it sounds like this. But in my GT1000, I do a lot more. So it's going to sound way fuller and in different pitches. So it's just a really complex patch. If you want me to break it down, just let me know in the comments below. And also, if you're really interested in that kind of shit, like, just please give me a subscribe and share this video so others can benefit from this too. This is proper sound design, man. So as I said, a lot of things happening in my GT1000, adding different pitches and harmonies and whatever, and also like a filter cutting off the top end and blah, 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 blah. So this is what it sounds like. But what I want you to take away from this, that it's really important, what is your trigger sound, what is coming from your mouth that gets affected. And while we are hovering about the topic, I just came across a lot of beatboxers who told me that, oh my God, you're solo beatboxing too? And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm not that good to participate in GBB in solo, but in order to be a Loopstation beatbox artist, you have to be a pretty decent solo artist too. So just keep this in mind. Loopstation is not a shortcut. It's an extension of beatbox. So yeah, man. I also programmed my GT1000 to switch the time of the delay if I push a button. So this is how I get notes out of it. So we start by recording the drop. The tempo is 126, and we're gonna engage input effects A and B, and we're gonna play the bass melody on track 3 And remember, this fader is down. Sorry. So remember, this fader is down because we don't want anybody to hear again the drop before I drop it, you know. So really what I'm doing with my mouse is short, and it's important, short bursts of dry kicks. Not but and I try to make it as bassy in my mouth as possible. When I got this recorded, I'm gonna go to track 1 and record a kick, and on track 2 I'm gonna record a snare. With the snare, I'm using a layering of an inward K and a spit snare. Then on track 2, I'm gonna add some percussion and hi-hats, and on track 1, I'm gonna add an open hi-hat. Now we have a beautiful house groove going on. It's time to add our verse in track 4. I mean verse, bass, line, melody. Yeah. All right, now I use again the same bass that I talked about, and the trigger now is a sucker punch. The idea here is to make it as hard and punchy as possible, also as bassy as possible. And again, I changed the note by stepping on the GT1000 that I already programmed. The next step is adding a chord step. What I do here is that I use a chord preset, and this is made by using multiple pitch shifters at the same time and adding some stereo field, adding some chorus, adding some beautiful reverbs and shimmer delays, and just making it sound nice. If I hum into it, it makes a minor chord. So I show you how it's done. The trick that I'm using here, and just quickly the volume pedal when it's time, you know. All right, dope. So the next step, while this is going on, this is twice as long as this one. So when it at halftime, I'm gonna add a crash kind of sound to my drop, still silently. And it goes like. So now nobody knows, but in the drop we have this. But it's still remaining silent, right? So, time to add some vocals. I'm gonna rap on top of this beat, and I'm gonna use a pitch shifter down and up, controlled by my volume pedal.
Feels good.
Keep doing it.
It hurts.
Keep doing it.
That's life.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
I try to be as expressive with my words as possible. I'm not just saying, try to keep doing it. I try to mean what I'm saying, because I really do. Keep doing it. Now it's really the time to get ready for the drop. I'm gonna use the faders to mute the kick drum, and after that I'm gonna use the undo button to take away my hi-hats and percussion parts from the drum loops.
Feels good.
Keep doing it.
It hurts.
Keep doing it.
That's life.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
So I start my drop with just kick and snare using the undo button, and then once the drop was going on, I added back keep doing it, and in the meanwhile I'll use the undo button again to add my hi-hats and percussion parts, so the second time it's coming, it's a full groove. For the second part of the drop, I'm using beat repeat on track effects 3. really important not to overdo the beat repeat. Just use it to add some fills and some kind of variation to your drop. Alright, this is it for part 1. If you're interested in how to do the rest of the song, please check out part 2, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this video with others. Bye.